Moon Mondays, unleash your feminine power through astrology. I'm Sheridan, your go-to astrology life coach, sharing this week's woman-centered astrology, empowering you to use astrology to realize your full potential. We start this week of December 2nd, yes, it's December, with the moon moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn today, moving from fire into earth. So how do you experience this elemental shift? Does it feel good? Not so good? Do you notice the change at all? It's okay if you don't. I experience it as a shift from visions and inspiration, right? Fire into more grounded concreteness, right? It's less stimulating and more calming. We're coming out of the Sagittarius New Moon early yesterday. So what intention did you set for this moon month? Sagittarius likes to vision and see what's beyond the horizon. Now the moon guides us into those practical earth-based micro action steps, right? Supporting our new moon intention. So what small action are you taking this week to realize your new moon intention? Remember, micro actions are just that, small steps, mini actions you can measure and know whether or not you've done them, right? There's something you could share with your best friend, like, hey, I didn't drink at all last week, or I sent that email to my boss finally, right? Micro actions are concrete. They're not like ethereal and esoteric, which is what can really happen around intention setting, I think, is to be like super high level, but not like really connected to the change that we're trying to make, right? It may be something we desire to change, but the micro actions are the way that we actually do this, right? So let's talk about this for a moment, because micro actions are what it's really all about. It's all nice to set intentions with the new moon. I'm obviously not the only one sharing about that. The difference is this is not a set it and forget it situation where you simply state your intention to the universe and poof, it magically comes to fruition. It takes some work, a little elbow grease. It takes action. But the secret is it doesn't have to be hard, right? That's where the real magic comes in. So micro actions are teeny tiny baby actions you take. So for example, let's say my Sagittarius new moon intention was starting to write my book. Okay, right? That's huge, high level, huge, right? The key here is starting, right? That's the first word. It's not my intention is to write the whole book this month. It's starting it. And then my micro action could be writing out the general concepts I want to cover, maybe 5 to 10 ideas. And like, that's it. It's not also write the outline, or in addition, I write the introduction as well, right? So you feel me, right? Micro actions done right will almost feel too easy, but don't underestimate them. Taking small actions consistently is extremely powerful. It's the difference between staying stuck and forward motion that fills you with self-confidence and inner pride, because you're taking those steps to make what you want happen, right? We tend to make our actions, our goals, our to-do lists way too big, way too ambitious. And then we get overwhelmed and do nothing, right? I am so guilty of that. Overwhelm is my biggest trigger to checking out. But now I understand, thanks to my mentor, Nancy Levin, micro actions are the antidote to overwhelm. So if I can just take one little baby step, it just takes me out of that place. So I hope that's helpful to take a little deeper dive. Like, micro actions literally have changed my life. I'm going to be teaching about these a bunch more in my new Moon Sister Circle group coming to you at the December solstice. So stay tuned for more about that. Wednesday brings us the next big sacred feminine event when Venus meets with the crescent moon in the western sky just a little after sunset. The moon and Venus should be pretty close together for those of us in the US because the exact conjunction is close to the sunset time. This is a powerful sight to behold. It's inspiring. It stops us in our tracks, just like it did for our ancestors. Seeing the moon meet with Venus definitely activates something ancient within our DNA. So check it out if you can see it. This moon and Venus meeting signifies our moving into the throat chakra in the Venus cycle. So the sacred feminine is encouraging us to reclaim the power of our voices this month. So important for women to reclaim our sacred voices. We are often silenced, not listened to, overlooked. We need to reclaim our powerful, important voices because we need to hear more from women today, not less. Next, the moon enters Aquarius, bringing more mental awareness online. And how do you experience that shift into air? Aquarius can allow some space for our emotional bodies, putting a greater emphasis on the mind, ideas, understanding. You may find yourself gaining some perspective around an issue, seeing the bigger picture from higher above, letting the mind work its magic, right? The mind is not all bad. We just tend to overemphasize it, but it's a powerful tool for our use, right? Consciousness is important, and that's a mental thing that happens. Mercury meets with the sun on Thursday while retrograde. So this is a potent day to listen to yourself, listen for messages from your soul, from the goddess. Mercury is the messenger of the goddesses. So they'll be trying to communicate with you. This is happening in conjunction with Venus's activation of the throat chakra. So there's a lot of communication energy flowing around. On Friday, Mars goes retrograde and Venus enters Aquarius. This brings a stillness, a slowing down of the masculine, thank the goddess, while the feminine changes signs. What will this bring for us? Perhaps a slowing down before the holiday season and all the busyness. A moment to get some perspective. What's important for you this holiday season? What do you want to get out of it? This would be a great day to sit with that for a minute. What would feel good to you for the holiday season? What would make it feel successful to you and not stressful? Is it to slow down? Would you prefer not to go to every event you're invited to? How could you take some time for yourself? Or do you feel electrified by all the social events and you just can't wait for the holidays, right? How about with your family, if you're seeing them this month? Are there things you could do or not do that would make that time feel better to you? As Mars stations retrograde in self-love Leo and Venus enters higher perspective Aquarius, this is a brilliant time to feel into what works best for you in the upcoming holiday time. On Saturday, the moon enters Pisces and Neptune stations direct. So there's a lot of directional change energy this week, right? A dreamy oriented time is on offer with both the moon and Neptune in Pisces. Does that lend itself to your visions coming in at the solstice new year? Or does it trigger overindulgence in you? Both are available. Interesting timing as we head into the holidays where we tend to overindulge, but also the solstice new year where we sit in the stillness of the sun, changing its direction, and we set longer term goals and intentions. I invite you to join me on Saturday, September 21st for my free solstice intention setting gathering. I'll share with you the steps I've been taking over the years that have significantly moved me towards my visions. I'll also teach about the solstice and how to use the moon and the seasonal cycles to create the life you want to live, one intention, one micro action at a time. The link to register for this free gathering is listed below. And finally, Sunday is the first quarter moon, the time to set another micro action for this phase of the moon that you can take and be accountable to yourself for over the next week. That's how it works. We create change in our lives, one micro action at a time with each phase of the moon. I'm suggesting blue chamomile for this Pisces half moon and Neptune stationing direct. It's also called German chamomile. It's this luscious, like thick, oily, deep blue essential oil. Blue chamomile slows us down, calms our nervous system, and opens our throat chakras for this Venus gate. This divine throat chakra blue oil opens our hearts to be more of our authentic selves beneath the masks that we wear to get along in the world, especially around the holidays. I'll see you next Monday as the moon enters Aries and we get our warrioress energies on once again. If you want to learn more about creating your ideal life with the moon, grab my free guide, 3 Steps to Changing Your Life with the New Moon at my website, Sheridan Semple, or click the link below. And please join my free solstice gathering on December 21st as well. Comment, ask me questions, and like below. Thanks for watching, and I wish you an empowered, sacred feminine week.